Last week on Real Garbage.
What makes the nog? Why is it? What is nog? What is nog?
Coming up on this episode of Real Garbage, we talk about proper hydration.
Are you saying your piss is brown?
Yes, like Reese peanut butter cup.
Then discuss the main character.
Like, is this about you, Manager Boy, or is this a dog movie? Like, I couldn't decide who we were rooting for.
And also CGI in the 90s.
That dog got hit.
They were throwing real basketballs at a dog's face.
That and so much more on this episode of Real Garbage. But first, here's a quick word from our fake sponsors.
This episode of Real Garbage is brought to you by Filthy T-shirts.
Wow. This episode is brought to you by being roasted by your fellow host.
This episode is brought to you by Cleveland's Sandals, the best boots a man can wear.
Real Garbage.
Ahola, everybody.
Ahola.
Hello.
It's aloha backwards.
Aloha, members. Members?
We have viewers, members,
This past post, I called people reelers.
reelers. Ooh.
Ooh,
Yeah.
keeping it
like
real.
it.
Do you do that? Is that
Yeah.
a thing?
We can keep it real.
Yeah.
Real time with Bill Maher.
Sure.
Yeah, whatever works. I
Real
guess.
time with Evan Mumford.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Evan.
Hey.
Real talk with Evan Mumford.
Hello.
Real gum chewing.
Oh, it could be like
Seriously, swallow your gum, please.
I will.
That's all I can hear.
it's an ASMR thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people
It's
love
true.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, you need
Yeah.
headphones for this.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I don't hear any of this bullshit. Just me and my own thoughts. That's all,
all you
I'm
need.
doing.
What's happening? Well, you've never been here before.
I've never been in this apartment.
Welcome. This is my apartment.
Of the approximately 346 apartments I've been in,
Oh.
this is top 60.
Nice.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
58 probably.
You heard it here first.
That's my guess.
Mm-hmm. I like are these paintings in the shots here?
Not in the shots, but Evan, our last guest,
McDonald.
referred to that, and I put up a picture of it for
Oh,
people.
you did?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I painted that.
That is amazing.
It's neat, eh?
Notice how my tone changed after you
Your
said you
vo-
did it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what Evan said.
I was like,
Other
that
Evan
is-
said
He's
too.
like, did you do that? I said, yeah. He goes, I don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
He says, what about the one in the hallway? He's to do that too. I'm like, yeah. He goes, I don't like that.
I
one
hate
either."
it.
I love it.
I guess-
I love your place.
Thank you. You don't have to say that.
No, it's truly great. It's clean, but not like weird clean. Like it's not like
It's-
American Psycho.
It's neat.
It's Canadian Psycho. It's like
I cleaned the toilet before you guys got here, but that was it.
Nice.
I'm like, yeah, it'll be enough.
yeah, it's fine.
Just don't need to see the stains.
I did kind of find it funny. He offered me iced tea. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
His
like-
homemade iced tea.
I'm like, sure. I'm thinking like a nice Lipton's. He's like, here's a jug of piss. I'm like, what am I supposed to say?
Are you saying your piss is brown?
Yes, like Reese peanut butter cups. That's what it's supposed to look like, and it comes out in
You-
like a.
Zam.
Is it
he's
thick?
Dehydrated.
I have no kidneys. The 3 stomachs. Super weird body.
What do you got there?
I have Summersby Rosé flavored cider.
Ooh,
Oh wow.
rosé.
I didn't partake in Sober October, but for the most part, I just don't drink a lot in general. And today was so busy at work, so I was like, Sober October's over. Here we go.
That's awesome.
I smoked weed all afternoon and evening yesterday.
Nice.
I'm off the weed again.
Anyone want to try?
No, thank you.
A little cup.
Not a ciderman. Not a ciderman.
Ciderman?
A ciderman. Oh,
Ciderman?
Mm,
It's like Superman.
that sounds so fancy.
it does.
Does.
I find the cider just kind of makes things.
But this one tastes like rosé, so it's not super bubbly and
I
like
know. I get it.
cidery.
I get it. I get what they're doing, but I'm just not. I'm not here for it.
What kind of man are you?
I'm the kind of man that chooses to watch Air Bud on an afternoon where some of his
Oh, yeah.
friends are. I have a friend who got married, I think, this afternoon. I have a
Oh,
friend
wow.
who has
That's too much. for
children.
me.
I have a friend who just went for a hike, and I'm sitting there
Nope.
watching Air Bud.
No.
That's what kind of man I am.
I feel that. I relate to
Right?
that. Like
There's-
my
there's, like,
friends are
birds.
popping out kids or
Mhm.
getting married, or on the opposite end of the spectrum, they're like going out despite COVID and partying
Oh, wow.
and like hooking up. And I'm just like,
Hooking up?
in bed by 11:30 last
It's
night,
super
getting
weird.
that extra hour, having maybe a cider rosé and watching like bad movies.
I will say I've been pretty good, but last night I did not was not a good man. Meaning things. How do I put this gently?
You don't need to.
Things were set in motion that couldn't be undone.
I drank more than one cider. I'll put it that way.
Oh.
Fell off the wagon, so to speak. Doing heroin again. No, I'm joking. What I was trying to say with the Airbud thing is like it was so weird to be sitting there as a grown man and like the life is outside happening.
Yeah.
Birds are
chirping.
and
It
I'm
was
just
a beautiful
there,
day yesterday.
just watching Airbud.
I watched
afternoon.
I watched it this morning. This was a good choice.
Yeah,
It's an interesting choice.
I was not expecting to hate it as much as I do.
That says a lot about you and your design, I think. It's cool to hate things such as children and dogs, I suppose.
Stop! I don't hate dogs.
I suppose.
I don't hate dogs.
All dogs go
You're
to
sure
hell.
defending it like you hate dogs, or people have said you hate dogs.
No, I hate that sentiment and putting that out there. I love dogs. What I don't love is casting an old dog with cancer in a movie and having him play basketball and put little Nikes on him.
Okay. So we're talking about Airbud. If the guests, the realtors,
realtors?
The realtor.
if the realtors have included in it, we're talking about Airbud. What's that? 1997.
97.
Cobain had died 3 years previous. You weren't even born.
I was 2.
That still doesn't count.
We just met 10 minutes ago. It's the one fact I know about you that I got completely wrong.
Yeah.
You weren't even born yet.
Well, to be fair, when we first met, I also got something wrong about your bit, so now we're even.
We won't repeat that because
No,
that makes
'cause
you
that-
look like an evil person.
Yeah, it does, and I'm
on
so
top of the
sorry.
dog and kids. Anyway, Jeff, I love your podcast.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Okay, so let's make this very clear. I've seen this movie probably as a kid 10 times.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow,
So I haven't seen it since. But you guys are both
new
I had
to
never
it.
seen it.
We're
wild.
Airbud versions.
Wild.
Well, 97, I was 15. Wait.
He was past the Airbud
Yeah, I was
phase.
15. It was
Yeah.
way beyond my, Toy Story was my watch 30 times movie when I was young.
When did that
But this
come
one,
out?
came
That was
out-
95, dude. That's only 2 years previous.
Yeah, but the 13 years old.
That's true.
Toy Story shorts, Christmas
True.
break. There's nothing to do
Yeah.
in Manitoba. You're snowed in. Let's watch Toy Story again.
Do you pull up pictures too on this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you
put
mentioned the
anything up.
Nikes on the dog.
The one
Then the sneakers.
Who just
Yeah.
had those laying around?
I know. Maybe
Yeah.
they custom made them.
Plus, have you ever seen a dog with boots?
Yeah, they walk like.
They can't
No,
walk.
it's The Walking Dead. They're zombies.
Or
I hate
they're-
everything about that.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate dressing up dogs.
Yeah.
I'm not even.
You
like
hate dogs?
Can I say something? And I want to say this delicately. I'm not like an animal guy. Like I was vegetarian for 6 years. I love animals, but I didn't grow up with pets, so I don't really get it. So when I'm watching Airbud, it's just kind of cool. Actually, let me say this. I thought about why is this movie called Airbud?
I don't know.
There is a kid who becomes team manager of a basketball team at the age of 9.
Yeah, it's a bit strange.
Why isn't it called Manager Boy? Why aren't we following that through?
Or just two-shot Bud, because he doesn't
Yeah.
actually jump ever.
Yeah. He doesn't get air.
Yeah, he does not catch air. I was expecting a couple slams.
Does he
Yeah.
not catch any air?
None.
No. He just
None.
bunts the ball
He
with his
does.
snow.
And he gets like two shots. The kid
Yeah.
makes the end shot.
The
The
winning
movie's
shot.
about the kid, Manager
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah.
Manager boy.
Manager boy.
Yeah, that is kind of
Slave labor.
So
Yeah.
Like, when does the kid actually go to class?
never.
All his school is just washing clothes and
In that
managing.
90s single mother. Like, you know how every 90s
yeah.
movie has the mother with so much money
Yep.
and
Yeah.
no husband?
Yeah.
She's got a $400,000 house,
Single
5
income.
bedroom, 4
Yeah.
bathroom.
Well, I mean, her dead husband was a pilot, so that.
Did I
like-
miss that?
Big severance. Oh yeah,
It-
yeah. He was a
they-
test pilot though.
Yeah,
I don't think they
true.
make as much money as a regular pilot. I have no idea.
But they.
I'm a test carpenter.
I'm,
I'm gonna get that journeyman rate soon.
oh my god. This movie came out around the same time that like MVP, Most Valuable Primate, was big.
I thought you were
right?
going to say Ellen DeGeneres. Because she came out in 97.
Oh.
I was like, for someone who wasn't born yet, that's a very interesting reference.
She was 2. She was 2.
Yeah.
She was 2. So MVP was. Did you look that up? What year did that come out?
I don't know, but so what an interesting thing. I've never seen an MVP movie either, and I'd never seen an Air Bud movie.
Okay.
But when I was growing up, I had heard more. I grew up in Alberta. I had heard more about MVP movies than
That's Alberta.
Air Bud.
Alberta doesn't have the palette for Air Bud. That's more of a high class of Nova Scotia. Not even.
It's a coastal movie. It's West Coast or East Coast. The prairies. We
You
didn't
know what I
care
grew
for
up
us.
with? Did either of you ever watch Monkey Trouble?
What?
No, this is the point where we're just like weird old dudes all of a sudden.
Yeah. Monkey Trouble?
No. It came out. It was like late 90s, maybe early 2000s. It had that. Okay, so have either of you ever watched the movie Hocus Pocus?
Oh, yes.
Okay, you know the little sister in that movie? She's in Monkey Trouble, and she's about the same age that she is in Hocus Pocus. So it must have come out around that time. But she finds this like capuchin monkey in the park who escaped from something like Air Bud did. And her and the capuchin monkey like bond, and she's trying to hide it and protect it and keep it, blah, blah, blah. So this movie reminded me of Monkey Business.
Interesting. I think you kind of
Or Monkey Trouble.
Monkey Trouble. You hit on something that's part of the fabric of society that no one ever talks about. Is pre 9/11 animal movies. Something happened after 9/11 where we're like, animals aren't cool anymore. Think
Yeah.
about it. Homeward Bound. All dogs go to heaven.
Yeah.
Babe.
Oh,
Pig in the City.
Oh my God, what was that cartoon with the cat? Oliver and Company?
Oliver and Company.
Oliver and Company.
But
oh,
after-
man. Whoa.
After
I remember
9/11,
that.
think about it.
Marley and Me. Dog
The
dies.
dog dies.
God,
Oh,
I can't
my
bring that
God,
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, watching this movie, I so many times was irrationally getting like emotional and teary-eyed because I knew that the dog died
Oh,
a
right.
year
Wow.
after they made this, and I was like,
I'm glad I didn't know that. I was like, man.
I knew that as well because I have a dirty little secret where I go on IMDb.
same, and I read the trivia.
So that was like the first one. They're like, haha, the dog's dead.
Yeah.
Like, why'd you phrase it that way?
Yeah, and then you're like, wow, so Air Bud really wasn't in any of these sequels. Any of
No.
the 25 sequels.
Well, I actually read he has a Wikipedia page. I'm like,
Oh.
which is kind of like offensive. Like, think of all like the soldiers who died for our country and just like, no.
Stop!
But let's give the dog a Wikipedia page. It was like long. It was like longer than.
That's a
Dogs?
testament to the state of the world right
Yeah,
there.
but
It's like, what
also-
are we focused on here?
Yeah.
But also, animals can do no wrong.
Animals can do no wrong.
People can do wrong.
This dog should have bitten this clown's face.
Well,
let's-
yeah.
So,
Oh, okay.
do you want to nutshell this for people, or
Yeah.
you want to tell our listeners and viewers
Nut
I have
it.
so
what
many things to
Air?
talk about.
All I got to do is just I always get the
Synopsis-y.
guests just to give us a little synopsis. So if people haven't seen Air Bud,
Okay.
how would you describe Air Bud to
Like
somebody?
an elevator pitch.
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
Okay. Air Bud is a movie about a kid with a dead dad. It was kind of a 90s thing. Everyone's dad died.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Frost and stuff. But anyway, it's about a kid who's lonely and he meets a dog who can play basketball. And there's a drunk clown after them. And the mother is single. And it's just one of those things that we dealt with in the 90s. We all
Yeah.
enjoyed it. And now here we are criticizing it. Funny, eh? Funny how things change.
Everything's a cycle.
Everything's so funny and meta now.
So okay. I had noticed that the rating on this from Prime was rated all for foul language and violence.
There was a point when one guy's like, "Oh shoot!"
Yeah, I heard shoot and dang it. Went, oh man, gotta
Remember
censor that.
when they let the dog first in? The two coaches were like, "Why? I've never seen the lights." It's like that's pretty foul, I
I had
guess.
so many issues with how many doors were left open and how many people were just like, "Come on in, boy. Wait, don't go that way."
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
All
Yeah.
right, so we start this movie off. There is a clown on his way to a birthday party, and my first question was, "Who is this clown?" Which I
Who
love.
hires that guy?
Yeah.
Right?
No,
Like, how
no
does
credentials.
How does he have any good references?
That's the thing about the '90s. We just kind of took chances on people.
Which is so wild
Mm-hmm.
to me. I just, looking at that guy.
Oh my god!
In-
He's dirty. He's literally
Yeah,
just like
he's
mud on his
literally-
face.
And the synopsis of this movie is an alcoholic clown loses his dog or whatever. So if this were an alcoholic clown and you hired him, you'd probably be able to smell the booze on him. I'd be like, you're not coming in and entertaining my children.
100%.
I
You're
just
not.
don't understand what
But
compels a guy who doesn't want to be a clown, first of all,
Yeah.
hates the job, he openly says. You could go work at a million other places. Work at McDonald's. You can be drunk and work at McDonald's.
Yeah.
They'll still, they need people.
I think what I do appreciate about it was this movie was not afraid to take shots at clowns.
Yeah.
Or sorry,
It's just cool.
It'll just be a burp.
It'll be
Whatever.
censored.
clowns are the worst people.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad to see a movie just be like, no, not into clowns. This is what they're all like, degenerates. I'm like, you go, Airbud. Take one clown at a time, man. And by the way, the burp thing, we can talk about it. So I told Jeff on the way here, I saw the most recent episode. And you do the censorship thing with the burp. And I told Jeff, my least favorite sound on earth is burps. It's like bone-chillingly.
Perfect.
So I'm watching.
you're-
I'm really watching my language.
Okay, you know what somebody told me who also like streams on Twitch and posts YouTube videos and has like a following. They said that you only need to make it through the first 5 minutes without swearing in order to be not demonetized. So after, and then I was watching like PewDiePie videos, Jacksepticeye, big YouTubers, and for the first few minutes, it's fine, and then they'll just be like, oh, and they're monetized.
Oh, maybe because it's like that's where the first ad is.
Yes.
In the first 5 minutes.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
So
Fucking right.
we,
Yeah, but my whole objective here is because I've been listening to old episodes. We swear too much.
Fair.
Swearing too much, it loses its potency, and it just sounds terrible after you listen to it for 10 minutes, and you're like, "Wow, I've heard 19 f-bombs in 15 times."
Fair.
We're not truckers.
No.
We're professionals. Semi-professionals.
fair.
I want to sound
many
professional.
Slimy snakes on this slimy
Yeah.
plane.
You have to,
Find
you have
other
to swear
words.
there. But yeah, I've been going through old episodes, and I'm like, man,
Yeah.
it was even like I'm like I was swearing every minute. Every minute I'm dropping an f-bomb, and as I get older, I'm just trying to be a little
Save
more.
your f-bombs.
Yeah,
when they matter.
I want to
Yeah.
use
Like,
them
fuck
for
this
emphasis.
Dog and Airbud.
Yeah.
Fuck that fucking dog.
Yeah, honestly. I'm still like I went into this thinking it was going to be a great
What
time.
did you think about it? Like, did you know like what Airbud was?
No.
You had nothing.
No, my first note is, so is this dog a genius or alien or something? Why is he so
Right.
good at sports?
That's actually a good point. They give the dog very to little no personality.
Yeah.
It's just a thing that has a nose that a ball hits.
Yeah.
on.
And one thing I didn't understand after I found out like he just hits the ball with his snout. He's a good enough basketball player to be on the team and to score, but he's also so clumsy that he's chasing after a ball and knocks over and destroys an entire house with paint
I mean,
and,
that was Michael Jordan
and
was
glue.
like that. Yeah, you see,
He was-
Michael
he was
Jordan was
klutzy.
constantly slipping on banana
Yeah.
peels,
I
but on the
see.
court, it's like, as a basketball player, it's kind of hard to describe to people who don't play basketball. But let's call it being in the paint. You in the paint? You just
Could have
go
went
hard.
pro. He just got the bad knee.
Yeah.
Bad
I
knee
got fluid
you.
in my knees, and
Oh,
I could,
shit.
Shin splints,
yeah, I got
bone spurs.
No, but
I could have went pro.
yeah, I had no idea what this was about. And watching it, I was waiting for the dog to be radioactive or
or
something.
talk or something.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Would have been
it just-
better if he talked.
Right?
Yeah.
But just a golden retriever who was like eating pudding and just
Would have been
eating pussy.
would have been a strange way to continue this movie is if his container didn't just land perfectly flat on the road when this
That-
clown lost him out of the truck on the
that
way to
pissed
the
me
pound.
off. That pissed me off.
So what do you guys want to do? Do you want to go like linearly through
That's
the movie?
kind of what we usually do.
Okay.
I try to keep the train on the tracks as much as we can, but if we like touch on something else, we'll just skip past
I'm a
it later.
bad conductor. I have ADD, so it's like I can jump. Oh, nice.
So after the birthday party, yes, this guy's like, "You're going to the pound." He's on the phone with the dog pound, like, "I got a terrible, vicious dog. I'm bringing him your way." And the
God.
container falls out of the back of the truck. This family almost crushes it.
yeah.
Doesn't even stop to look. Like she's like, "Oh my God, there was a box on the road."
She's a single mother. There's a dead dad in the picture, man.
She's got things to
it
do and a
moving.
house to move into.
Yeah.
Like, we
Yeah.
can't stop for these random things in the middle of the highway, even though the kid's like, "Holy shit, there's a dog there."
But even the kid didn't speak up.
No, he didn't say anything. He was like,
He's like, "Hello,
Weird.
fucker." Like, he's just like,
and also the mom being like, "There's a box in the road." That's a crate. You can quite clearly tell it's an animal crate. It's not a box that fell off your moving truck.
That's what you're upset about is the choice of words.
The wordage. The vocabulary
it's actually a
used.
crate. It has 2 slits on the side.
Listen, dummy. That's not a box.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she's obviously not a dog person because she did not know what she was looking
Yeah.
at.
No.
And one thing, I'm jumping forward, whatever. One thing I've never understood in any movie ever is, and this is from personal experience too, which I'll touch on, is parents just being so no pets, no dogs, you cannot keep it. Absolutely not. I rescued a guinea pig in 11th grade and I just brought it into my house without telling my grandparents. And I put it in my room and I put a little towel over it when I went to school.
Rescued it from where?
From the pet store.
No, from someone I knew who didn't want it and was keeping it in a cage like this big.
Oh, wow.
And she was just like, "It's boring. I don't want it." And I was like, "Well, my grandma's allergic to dogs and cats, so I'll take it." Like, I want something. And then I hid it in my room by my bed and I put a little towel over it during the day. And then I guess when I was at school, it was squealing. It was just doing regular guinea pig things. And I distinctly remember I'm at school and my grandma texts me and she says guinea pig in all caps.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, guinea pig? Can I get one?
You just played it off. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what you're...
Yeah. And then she was like, "There's one in your room." And I was like, "What? What?" But then she spent some time with it and brought it downstairs. And when I got home from school, she was like, "You're taking that to the pet store." But then a day later, she was in love with it. And
That's what we saw in this movie.
Yeah.
It's always like the immediate I hate this thing.
But I have never understood that.
That immediate repulsion. Like
Yeah.
even the mother who seems like to be a very sweet and caring
Yeah.
woman, even she was like, "She's going to the pound. Why are we taking everything to the
I
pound?"
know. Like
Do those
everything to the
exist?
kill shelter.
Have you seen a pound? What is a
No.
pound?
I don't think anyone's used the word pound since before 9/11. It's changed after that.
Is that an also
I think-
9/11?
Now
I think
it's
so.
now it's an SPCA where
the
they
pound
Yeah.
turns into
where they're
SPCA.
where they're waiting to get adopted, but then as soon as they're super old, they just get put down.
Right.
Yeah.
Facts of life.
You
with
would think-
realtors.
the golden retriever is the best family dog out there
Yes.
too. That you would think
Or
that
a golden lab.
she would be going, "Oh, this is like the best
know.
thing we could have ever had
And
happen to us."
Especially
Right?
because her son, like his dad just died. You would think that she would be like,
Yep.
"Oh my God, yes, we just moved. He has no friends. He needs a companion." But she's like, "No."
I just realized something.
Mm-hmm.
The dog is the reincarnation of his dead dad because they used to play
Kids
basketball
used to play
together,
basketball
right?
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's also
That's too
And
much
his dad
for
ate
me.
a ton of pudding all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Did we
Also
see
had
that too?
diabetes.
It was actually very confusing. The writing was so sloppy
Mm-hmm.
as far as making a clear point in what the janitor coach, the
Yeah.
magical black man trope, which was
Wise janitor.
I'm the wise janitor.
the wise janitor,
Mm-hmm.
was that the dog at one point? Because like he used the same jersey, I think.
What?
I think he used the same jersey number, right?
This is too much. No, because
This is a
Airbud's jersey number was K9.
oh, he was K9.
Oh, like the K9.
Yeah. Because the lady
Super
was
clever.
like, "Introducing player K9."
Right,
And I wanted to
right.
blow my face off.
That's bad. I'm so glad I didn't hear that. I would. I'll tell you what I really actually found frustrating as like a movie viewer. This is us in 2020. We're watching good movies now. The overuse of like the violin while the boy looks out the window longingly. Every 10 minutes had a sad sequence. Oh, the kid lost his Dunkaroos in the river, and there's just a sad close up. And he's like, "Oh, I'm sad." And it only needed to happen in the movie once. I'm going to skip ahead a bit. When the kid leaves the dog on like an island.
Wow.
He's literally
What a asshole.
serial killer. That
Yes.
boy is a serial
That's a
killer.
psychotic behavior.
Just going to let the dog starve to death.
On this island.
Yeah.
Like, No, that's when I mentally was fully checked out. I was like, I don't give a shit what happens if this family keeps it. If the dog runs away, I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
that was just
That was
too
bad.
much.
It was the cruelest thing I've ever seen happen to a dog.
Yeah.
And that kid had no heart.
No.
Because watching that dog swim towards you and then swim back,
Oh,
it was
God.
heartbreaking. Even though I knew it was a movie, and now I know that dog died a year later.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
We need to retitle this movie Manager Boy. And it's
Yeah.
like the all the shit he did, man.
American Manager Boy, because he's psychotic.
He is a very psychotic man.
And now him as an adult, if you look up that actor, he has such like very, very sharp features that he does look kind of psychotic.
Kind of
Like
kind of
Patrick-
psychotic.
Yeah.
Straight Patrick Bateman.
More than that. Like think of Christian Bale's like
Machinist.
yeah, like think of that, but then
So skinny in
picture
that
like
movie.
way more sharp like meerkat features, and he's like,
I'm thinking of a bowl of knives. That's like you
yeah,
describe. I'm like,
yes,
there's 7 knives in a bowl.
You could just grate cheese on his face.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so
Just-
actually, I did quickly glance at his Wikipedia. I was surprised to find out, like, you go to the personal life section, you always expect to see with kid actors, he stabbed a guy 17 times and sucked a dick. Like, it's just like,
yeah.
but there was
He's
nothing.
lost 7 dogs.
Yeah.
No idea where.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
this guy was like, oh, he's happily married and he has a nice family. It's like, oh, I
Maybe-
don't
But
want to see that.
Wikipedia can also be edited. He's probably
Yeah.
rewriting that
Yeah.
every day. He's like, somebody changed it again.
While he's stabbing someone. Just like,
Maybe because he plays such weird, psychotic, evil characters like this, he's a friggin' weirdo. And then I mentioned earlier, I know this guy as an adult because he was a student/drug dealer on Gossip Girl. And in that, he's such a creepy, borderline, like rapey weirdo. So that kind of makes sense that he has a normal, chill life because
he plays the characters.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas it's the regular ones. Perfect example. Bill Cosby, America's father. Everyone's like, what an angel. He's so hilarious. And then he's in jail because he's
For sure
spiking
that-
people's
well,
jello.
you hear that in comedy, that a lot of like the real dirty comics are the sweetest, nicest people.
Doug
Like,
Stanhope, man.
Yeah, but like a
Some
lot of the
nicest
clean guys are just like the gnarliest people off stage. I've seen some of that. It's like it's like the guy who does like autopsies, like goes home and drinks tea.
Yeah,
goes to
yeah.
bed. Yeah. Weird.
So
So-
what comic are you?
Right down the middle.
Yeah. Like, right down the middle.
I'm not
Fine.
leaving dogs on islands, but I don't like
I
tea
was a-
either.
That's true. I was affected by that scene. I was like I like dogs. I just never had a dog. I was like, that is just so inhumane.
Yeah.
No.
Would you get a dog now?
Would I get a dog? Of course I would get a dog now. But it's not. It would never happen because I would just not know what to do with it.
It's a lot of responsibility.
What, like, I'm not talking a puppy where you'd have to train it and mold it to like Bane. I'm talking like, what if you?
Like Bane? That's the
Yeah.
reference?
I need to walk.
No, because Bane is like, I was molded.
Oh, okay. Like,
I was born in Evans Base.
I was born in the crate.
No, but like, what if you adopted like an adult dog or an old
Look,
dog?
I'll be very honest with you. Even just like bussing here is like a chore. Like I'm dumb. Like I'm not like a smart guy. I'm constantly tired. I'd like to hang out with a dog, but I'm not gonna.
You
try.
kind of seem like a cat person to me.
I'm like, I don't know what I am.
I feel like
Guinea
if-
pigs.
Yeah.
Rescued guinea pigs.
No, guinea pigs
Yeah.
need partners. That was my first mistake, rescuing it solo. It needs a partner.
That's sad.
I know they're social
Social.
creatures. They run around in Peru in little herds.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let's get back on track here. So these people move into a new house. This
Yeah, a
kid,
huge house.
a huge house. The
Massive
kid's
house.
There's
bedroom was
3
bigger
of
than this
them.
living room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that spoiled brat.
Pretty excessive. It was 97. The housing prices were pretty cheap.
Let's not.
So
But that's also Hollywood.
Yeah.
Every house is big. Even like the poor kids from the Bronx always live in a mansion somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like an apartment that comfortably houses all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
So we get this kid goes to school, realizes that he's not going to make a lot of friends. He's not going to play the trombone. So he's walking home and he discovers a lakefront. Hold on. Where was Fernfield? It's a place that doesn't exist.
Washington.
It was it Washington?
Yeah, because later on they talk about how that f***ing asshole on their team, their dad
Larry.
moved him to Spokane.
Oh,
Spokane.
right.
Yeah.
So he finds an ocean or lake. I wrote oceanfront first.
It was probably oceanfront.
An
in
abandoned
Washington.
oceanfront basketball court because there's just tons
In the
of those.
back of a church?
Was it a church or was it a building that looked like a church?
That was a cornfield, right? Was it a cornfield they were in? I have a very. I might be imagining things, but I have
Where was the corn?
I have an image of him shooting, and there's like 3 corn things.
Is this a Mandela effect?
This could be
Wait,
Mandela.
what version did you watch?
Um,
Air Bud director's cut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, we
yeah.
gotta
In a
move this
cornfield.
I
basketball
think of
court.
Children of the Corn. Never mind.
Part 2 where they played
Also,
basketball.
yeah.
But you're right. There was like an abandoned.
It was like
Court.
a church with a court in the parking lot.
Which is prime
On the water.
prime real estate.
Yeah, why
I
would
don't
it
know.
be so decrepit and run down?
It looked like it had been abandoned for like decades.
Yeah, Shutter Island was filmed there.
Yeah.
Like Leo just comes out. Oh, wrong
And
set.
also, a church would not be abandoned and decrepit. They don't pay taxes and they get donations in a bucket like what, every week, every day?
Take that, realtors.
Yeah.
Talking the truth.
Like,
religion doesn't suffer.
Society is alive.
Churches are houses. I can't.
Yeah.
But you're right. You rarely will see a decrepit church. But
Yeah.
also because like the architecture and like the windows are amazing.
yeah, the stained glass windows, those things, if a church ever shut down and was abandoned, the first thing to go and be stolen,
Yeah.
stained glass windows.
100%.
Yeah.
So this is where he gets his first glimpse of Bud. Puts out a pudding cup. The dog takes a pudding cup. And
Also,
he's like, oh.
do dogs like pudding?
I don't know, but that kid is going to give the dog diabetes with all
Good
the pudding
thing-
that he's given him.
Good
It's-
thing he had vanilla pudding.
Oh,
'cause
yeah, chocolate would have
kills dogs.
killed him.
Yeah. Also, what kid has vanilla pudding and likes it?
Yeah, that is true.
Ugh.
No
That is
wonder
very-
he didn't have any friends.
He's like, Mom, I don't want to eat these. I'm just going to give them away to a dog.
There was also right after that, there's that fairly sexual innuendo scene where the dog is running around the paint room.
Who, A, leaves out that much paint, and B,
Open cans, like
and-
not
yeah.
sealed, not put away.
and B, who decides to set up all that paint before they've put away their crap?
Exactly. So that's what I mean by sloppy writing. That usually you would set something up. There was so much paint; it was excessive. So you, as a writer, you would implant that image to set up a future scene where she's like a famous painter or something.
Yeah.
But there's just the one shot with 700 paint cans, and they're like, "Whoops!" It's just the weirdest.
Yeah.
Thing.
And they had that wallpaper paste that looked like cum.
Yeah.
And no wallpaper.
No wallpaper
They're
at all.
painting. They're painting, but also doing wallpaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here's one thing I just wanted to point out. He fed that dog 6 cans of SpaghettiOs in the bathroom.
What?
Wow.
Those cans that were sitting there on the floor, I stopped it. SpaghettiOs. Because he was making a dog with his
That's right.
SpaghettiOs earlier. So now he's fed this dog vanilla pudding and SpaghettiOs. This dog is going to all over this house.
See, I don't know because the dog was owned by an alcoholic clown. So
So he's also going through withdrawals because he probably hasn't been drinking because you know that clown was giving him beer.
Yeah, and maybe tuna. Like this
Yeah.
dog's probably not gonna all over the place. This dog's probably like, "Wow, this food is gourmand."
That's true. That's true.
Oh, he also blow dried the dog. Which is now he's okay. Vanilla pudding, SpaghettiOs, heat torture, auditory torture, because he gets the leaf blower out after,
yeah.
which is like 120 decibels to a dog in
Yeah.
an enclosed room.
Dogs are already scared of vacuum cleaners, and you're gonna leaf blow it.
100%. And you tricked it by throwing the basketball in the tub and like
Yeah.
drowned it.
You
This
suck-
thing is
You waterboarded it.
This dog should just be freaking out. Like
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
probably the 4th dog they used because
This
the other ones
dog
bit
should have just
somebody.
ran away again.
It's one of those things like this was that dog's last remaining months on Earth, and it's just going through these torture tactics, fear factor.
That
games.
That's
Well,
so
it
sad.
makes this next scene coming up here make more sense where the dog climbs up onto the roof, gets in his
Oh
room,
my
and
God.
tackles him to take the pizza out of his hand because he's like, real food.
Yeah. And also that scene with like my voice just cracked there. That's embarrassing.
It happens.
I'm a
It
30-year-old man. It doesn't happen.
It does.
I think this is my last year on Earth. Wow.
2020.
There's that scene where the kid's like has an ice cream and he's like so
Oh,
stoked to
yeah.
eat it. Then he turns his head and the dog ate it. I'm like, that makes me angry. The dog's such a dick.
yeah. They're dicks to each other.
They're both not good for each other.
Codependent assholes.
yeah.
It's
this
a
is
classic toxic relationship. That's what we're taking away from the movie.
Eat your pudding, you dog.
Right?
Oh, this basketball coach was a heck of a human being.
Just
Oh
wait, the
my
first one?
Yeah.
Bud Kilmer, basically, from
Yeah.
Varsity Blues.
Yeah.
You're here to win. You're not here to have fun. Well, how old are these kids? 10?
9, 10.
Nine.
And he's
10.
pelting him with basketballs.
Oh, that one point, yeah, later on at the end of the game, he's whipping basketballs at his star player.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Whiplash. It's Whiplash,
Yeah.
but in 1997.
Are you dragging or are you rushing? You can tell the difference. The next scene, yeah, there's the practice scene, and then the kid is downstairs doing the team laundry during school hours. So
yeah.
Oh, that was dark.
When
That was
was
a
this-
weird.
Yeah.
when was this kid actually going to class?
Never.
And what kind of school has a kid doing the work for a team like this? Just like you're a 10-year-old team manager, do the laundry too.
Yeah.
And it was very weird where the janitor asked, "Kid, why are you doing this?" And there was a dramatic pause, and the kid goes, "I guess I just want to play basketball." It was
I like
It was
basketball.
like, is this about you, manager boy, or is this a dog movie? Like, I couldn't decide, like, who are we rooting for? Is he even good at basketball? Even by the end, I'm like, he seemed okay.
Yeah. He didn't seem like.
He got the one shot. Like,
yeah.
He was no Jordan. He was Jordan off the court, klutzy, but you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
on the court he was like so-so.
Yeah.
It was a strange. And then this is because somehow Josh figures out that the janitor is this old Knicks player. I can't
Also,
remember his name.
how Arthur. I was going to say Arthur Curry. No, Arthur Curry. No, that's Aquaman.
Arthur Carson? No,
No.
the kid's name is
But-
Josh.
How? No. The janitor.
Janitor.
Wise janitor.
How does a professional NBA Knicks
Mm-hmm.
player go to being a janitor?
Yeah, why isn't he coaching? That
what
was my question.
a giant fall from grace! I need
Right.
an Air Bud
Right.
prequel on what happened to him because
Heroin.
Where's that documentary? Where's
Yeah.
where's
is that a blown out knee?
Yeah.
Like,
He's the bone spurs.
Where's his Last Dance Netflix series?
yeah,
And right after this, because he's like, oh man, this is him. He gets his card and he's like, hey, can you sign this for me? Handing it up through the grate, the hole in the grate in the creepy basement. And he's
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
that guy's dead, kid.
I will say that was kind of like a cool. It was like all of a sudden we're in a horror movie. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
the movie was spooky. There was
Oh,
like
Freddy
spiders.
Krueger?
Yeah. That's never been me, kid. I don't know who the you're talking
Yeah.
about. Kid. Get out of here
Get
now.
outta
You hear?
You're going to get tetanus down here.
Yeah.
And then the next shot is like a sequence of the janitor up in the gym just going to town
Yeah,
on
just-
basketball. Just
That
dribbling like
Nike
crazy.
commercial.
Like, what is
Yeah.
this? Christmas Eve first, because we have to establish
Oh,
that we have
yes.
to establish that the mother now has been like, okay, we accept your dog,
Yeah,
it's
the mom's
yours.
not being a miserable
because
shrew.
She gave him 3 weeks. Like, listen, 3 weeks and this dog is gone. And she even says going to the pound.
Going to the pound.
Like, this
yeah,
is
what
that's
a
cold.
threat.
Yeah, and there is that shot there where they have the dog with like the Christmas bow on it, which is like nothing funnier than dogs with funny things on
Yeah.
them.
The Christmas Eve, what was she reading? That story
that-
story
Oh.
seemed really adult.
Dude, I forgot. There's like another kid.
There's a sister.
The sister.
That's in like 3 shots, and
Yeah.
one of the shot is like they're reading this like, and you eat your cookies with your oatmeal, and it's just like the
And
Like-
weirdest.
Santa
like
is real.
Krampus?
Yeah.
Santa is as real as the spirit of good and kindness in the world. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, now there's no Santa then.
It was like turned into like The Exorcist for a second.
Yeah.
It was
Like,
creepy.
Say your prayers, little one, and the
Hush,
spooky
little
ones.
baby. It It was really creepy on that book. I'm like, what? Are you reading a book for adults
I'm
here?
pretty sure that sister probably died the next year too. Like she looked like an ill child. She was just like always like sleeping.
I'm tired, Mom.
Oh my God.
And yes, then now it's the basketball game where
And
she
sh-
just decides to bring the dog in.
Yeah.
It's like, I got a surprise for you.
And okay, so at this point they've decided to keep the dog, but nobody has thought in this time period of temporarily housing the dog to keeping the dog to get it a leash.
Mm-hmm.
She just brings it in by its collar and then lets him go, and
He'll
he
be fine.
runs around on the court and is chasing after the ball, and then Josh is getting so mad and embarrassed, and he's like, "Come on!"
I know. It's like,
Like,
Josh, that's your
what?
homie. Like 2 seconds ago, you were
Yeah.
sucking its dick.
Yeah.
What I also found really funny is the way the dog Zach Morrised his way into the window at the top
Yeah.
where Josh was. The dog is doing like backflips and shit to get to the window. Why aren't we focusing on that?
I know. This is why I thought he had superpowers or
Parkour.
something.
Yes.
Parkour.
Yes, it was such. You are right. There was a missing element of like. So what are we watching?
Radioactiveness?
What is this? It's just
Yeah.
a dog with a nose that you can bounce things
He's
off.
just got
of?
good hand-eye coordination, apparently.
Man.
We have to mention the the first game that Josh plays with the team now that he's made the team.
Yeah, he chokes.
The kid that's on his team giving him his Lucky Scotty Pippen orange peel.
Oh yeah.
That's a little creepy.
Yeah.
Well, he's like, oh, I also got this out of some other guy's garbage.
Yeah, that was weird.
There's
That
there's
guy's gonna
fanboy,
be
and
a
then
s-
there's that.
That guy's gonna be a stalker in his adult
serial
life.
killer, I think.
I just realized something. I sometimes I bring up Air Bud as like a reference, like in my stand up. Like here's
Really?
a dumb movie. I just say the words Air Bud, like in some sort of context that it's funny. And I did it recently, and the guy I was talking in the front row doing crowd work with, he's the director of Snow Buddies.
Oh,
Which is like if you
man.
follow the lineage of
It's in the Air Buddy umbrella.
Yeah.
Air Bud umbrella.
it became like the first 2 are theatrical, I think. Then it became like direct to,
Yeah.
and they film in Victoria now. The Snow Buddies.
Yeah. There was
They
an
were
Air
doing
Bud
one down at the
movie.
end of Verdier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
actually.
they've been filming up and around Souk for the newest one. So it's like
Interesting.
it's in Victoria now, and I think this Air Bud was filmed in Langley, BC.
That it
I
seemed
believe.
it seemed too nice to be in like Washington somewhere.
Yeah, I mean it's cheaper to film in Canada. You could tell it's like it's not as they saved money. They made a lot of money on this movie.
So now, yeah, this is where they have the game. They lose. The coach is chucking balls at Larry. I think it was Larry.
You can do that.
No, that
No,
wasn't
it was-
Larry.
that wasn't
That was
Larry.
Bowl Cut Boy.
Oh well, there's one shot. If you can post it when you edit this, they're in the locker room, and there's 6 boys. 5 of them have bowl cuts. One of the kids doesn't. It's just a row and another row of bowl cuts. I'm like, that is amazing.
Didn't you
That
have? Did you have a
was
bowl cut in
such a-
'97?
Of course I did.
I had one.
I
Yeah.
did too. I got botched.
Oh yeah.
I went in for a bob and she gave me like a mushroom cut, and that was the first time as a child where I thought I want to die.
My
Oh,
mom,
wow.
my mom used to cut my hair. Saved a lot of money, but man, I had some awful haircuts.
Oh, the your mom did it?
My mom did. Yep.
I had a friend whose mom did it for all the neighborhood kids, and she would do the Nike Just Do It symbol in your hair, which
Oh.
was super cool.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I want to do something else. I want to do the Adidas check marks. But she did like 6. So instead of 4.
too many.
I'm like, you did it. I now look like a psychopath.
It grows back. It's hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in the midst of this, we also have the principal going like, "Ooh, we're gonna get you a dog to be our mascot."
Yeah, what the hell?
And then they bring him out, and he's like, "Okay, bud, let's do this." Throwing balls at him. He's like, "This dog's like, I'm not a clown for your amusement.
Yeah.
Don't put me on a show like this."
Yeah.
It's like, I will not. So he doesn't
Just
do
gets
anything,
hit in the face with a basketball.
which just seems super inhumane.
Yeah.
A dog's nose is sensitive. I just can't understand how that dog.
I mean,
can
that's-
suffer through that.
This wasn't an era where CGI was able to do
Dude,
that.
they
That
were-
dog
Yeah.
got hit.
They were
Yeah.
throwing real basketballs at a dog's
And
face.
once again, this dog had cancer.
This dog was like, riddled.
Like,
He's 90% cancer. You feel the lumps when you pet him.
Yeah. Airbud 2, palliative care unit.
And like you could tell that this dog was old because he had that gray in his snout.
He looked regal.
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
not look like a 2-year-old puppy like they tried to say at the end.
It was like,
no, did they
he's
try
about,
to sell that to us?
No, he goes, when they're in the
Yeah.
courtroom, and he goes, this dog is 4 or 5, or 3 or 4.
No,
and he goes,
said 2 or 3.
This dog's what, 3, 4 years old?
no, because he said
What?
4 or 5 because it's 7 years per dog year. And if it was 2 or 3, he'd only be 14 to 21.
Oh.
Or-
So maybe 3 to 4.
He was like 3 to 4 because that's 21 to 28. He's an adult,
Yeah.
he says.
But that's still being like, this is Larry King, a teenager.
Yeah, he's old. Like he can make it. That whole courtroom scene was.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not there yet. I guess,
So
are
by
we?
this point, we're revisiting the clown who now recognizes this famous dog as
Yeah.
his dog, which is amazing because to look at a golden retriever and go, oh, "That's my dog,"
On a-
especially when you were a drunk and you hated it.
on a
Yeah.
bad TV. And
Yeah.
why are you watching a local basketball team?
Yeah, that
You
that just
creep.
opens up a whole other can of
and
worms
why
with this
is
creepy
the
clown.
local why is the local
Why is that on TV?
elementary school game being broadcast?
Yeah.
Small town. It's where anything can happen in Fernfield, according to
No,
its sign.
That's true.
Sydney is a small town and their basketball games aren't played.
It'd be funny if that's all there was on the news was, the local grade 6 basketball finals are this week. They got a dog on the court.
The Sydney Panthers.
Yeah, and it would be like an eagle or something. An old eagle. Ah!
My question was why, so I'd assume that this clown would want this dog back to perform, but he didn't perform that well before.
No, so why do you care?
Yeah.
And also you hate it.
He just
Why
wants-
do you care?
So this makes me believe that this clown just wants to murder this dog. Because he's
Yeah.
like, I was taking him to the pound and I
Yeah.
got to do what I said I'm going to do.
Either that or we come back to the references of toxic relationships and it's all about like wanting what you can't have and seeing something
Yeah, for
that
sure.
has escaped your clutches doing better and doing well than they were with you.
To be fair-
and you're like, I need to destroy.
Yeah. I mean, that he came in when everybody was like top shelf,
Yeah.
looking good.
Yeah.
Not
Shoot-
old
but did clean up
blue.
well. Old Blue. Who calls her dog Blue?
Oh, that scene
Who,
with
called
the
their
toothbrush.
who calls their dog Old Yeller?
Oh,
Blue?
Was that its
Yeller?
actual name? Old Yeller or just
Old
Yeller?
Yeller.
I
don't
never
know.
watched Old Yeller.
I
I
don't know.
did. I can't believe I watched Old Yeller and not this
yeah,
as
seriously.
a kid.
I thought they just called Old Yeller Girl, didn't they? Or was I'm
What?
gonna get Lassie.
Old,
No,
you're
Lassie
thinking of
was-
Lassie, but Lassie was a boy.
I'm so confused now.
No, I watched Old Yeller.
Did you ever watch
That-
The Littlest Hobo?
No, but I watched
Yes.
Hobo with a Shotgun.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yes!
that's filmed in Halifax. I went to the
Really?
premiere of that movie. Yeah.
I loved that
so
movie.
Rutger Hauer. Yeah.
Oh,
It was a totally not a dog just traveling around saving people, but yeah.
It's such a gross industry move to hire a dog.
I know.
Like that is your star is actually I looked on the Wikipedia. The first listing is not the boy. The first listing is the drunk clown.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because he's probably
Sandusky.
exactly. He's probably like at the time he was like a bit of a movie star. So
Yeah.
he's like I'll only do the movie if I'm first
Yeah.
credit.
He had done Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas in 95.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And then
think. So
Jurassic Park 3 was 2003.
Oh, he's in Jurassic Park.
I think he's got
He
a pretty
was in Jurassic Park
extensive
3. It was him.
filmography.
And then the other pilot guy taking the private plane
Okay.
to the other island, and then he got killed by a raptor. But then the raptor put his claw in his spinal cord and made him move. Or
Right. Yeah. No, I can't pull that. I can't pull that one.
So he manages to get the dog back, and then the kid goes and rescues the dog from him. This rescue scene is pretty wild. This clown's truck was not street legal at all. It was literally falling apart as he was trying to run this child and dog down with
yeah,
it and
in
murder
through
it
a park.
through a park,
Yeah.
running over picnickers, crushing, and then drove it into the water. The entire thing fell apart as he was doing this.
I will say I've always loved physical comedy.
Yeah,
And that the beauty of physical comedy, we go back to vaudeville, is its longevity. So like in 1997, that's still funny to me. Like to me, that's like the funniest part of the movie.
Oh,
the
100%.
the wheels falling off and stuff. Like,
yeah.
Brake wires, brakes are
Yes.
coming out. He pulls the door right off.
that's timeless.
Yeah, I can I can watch Liar Liar or The Mask.
Oh, I can't. I
And
tried Liar Liar
The
a few years
physical
ago.
comedy in that, it'll still get me.
Jim Carrey will always like hold up, but as a movie, I'd be curious. I haven't seen
Liar Liar.
either of those.
I watched it in 2017. It did. Liar Liar to me does not hold up. Ace
No.
Ventura still does.
Oh yeah.
When Nature Calls
I
still
quote
does.
Ace Ventura on the regular.
Yeah, but not Liar Liar. It's
Really?
cringy.
That could be our next
Cringy.
episode.
Oh, I can't. I
Liar,
don't
Liar.
want to watch it again.
Well, I know with like a lot of it, like just politically, it's kind of
Oh,
yikes.
yeah.
Ace Ventura's like the trans stuff. It's like questionable. And
But Ace Ventura 2.
right, he goes to the jungle or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chicago.
If you were me, then I'd be you, and I'd use your body to get to the top.
What a lovely room of death.
That's a pretty good. That's pretty good, Jim Carrey.
I'll still do the
Yeah.
bumpy road, driving on a flat road, so the
He
person
wants
behind
to
you is
go
going,
off-road.
"What's this guy
Yeah.
doing? These roads are bumpy."
That's
He's
funny.
just like, huh?
You guys can do like really good Jim Carreys.
I don't think it's that good.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, he drives his truck into the thing. This is where the kid takes the ferry to the island and deserts
Just
this
wait.
dog.
Also, just wait a second. Before the wild goose chase happens, why does my voice keep cracking?
Are you
Did-
nervous?
Did I hit puberty?
You're in a different town, different atmosphere.
A different town.
Sea level. We're closer to sea level.
I haven't been nervous in like 15 years. I'm not nervous.
You're not nervous.
I think it's like
New things.
I don't know. Anyway, you can edit my voice, right? Just like auto tune
Yeah.
it. So-
So anyway, like I said,
but there's that scene before the chase where like the guy's drunk and he's
Yeah.
drinking beers,
Hammered.
and I love that they used. I think it was Budweiser.
Budweiser.
Yeah.
Because Budweiser reads as like this guy's a frigging alcoholic.
Yeah.
This guy's
Budweiser
trash.
just hits
It
differently.
hits differently. Notice how I said friggin'?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
was like-
Wow.
I've never said friggin' before.
Whoa.
Golly gee.
Yeah, it's even dirtier somehow. If someone said frig me, golly gee, I'd be like, that is the dirtiest.
All right.
Yeah.
Slow it down.
Easy there, slut.
That's like, okay. That's like the radio edit version of WAP. It's wet
Oh.
and gushy,
wow.
which is so much worse
Ew.
than wet ass pussy.
Yeah.
Wet and
I haven't heard
gushy
either one yet.
makes my skin crawl.
Sounds like potatoes.
like
Like I want my
moist.
potatoes to be wet and gushy.
Oh yeah, garlic
Wet and gushy.
potatoes, wet and
Mom, are those
gushy.
potatoes wet and gushy? Yeah.
Yes.
Smash them up real good. What did I do?
Also, how does this kid get the money for the ferry?
Oh, good. Good
Also,
question.
why does the ferry driver wait till he whips this ball, deserts his dog, and then go, all right, let's go now. The kid's
Yeah.
on. Oh,
Why does
where's your dog, kid? Oh, he's over there. It's fine.
I abandon.
Leave
It's
him.
fine.
Yeah, actually, he was an adult watching. Look, the child has some sort of leeway. He's not grown up. He doesn't
Yeah,
understand
his brain hasn't matured.
consequence and suffering.
Yeah.
But that was a grown ass man watching that happen.
Also,
Yeah.
what was that ferry going over there for?
Yeah.
It looks like it just pulled up in the reeds
It wasn't
and
that
hung out
far,
for a while.
But it wasn't that you could swim that in a second.
Yeah.
And it's like a proper like yacht.
And that and that dog didn't swim that either.
that
but
dog,
it could have.
that dog would not have turned around.
No.
Knowing a dog, it would have been like, I'm swimming this whole way. I'm good.
Yeah.
Right.
I chucked sticks out for my neighbor's dog in
Yeah.
the ocean. That thing will just swim till it dies.
But it did. So it swam out, then kind of like
He swam back.
swam back.
Like,
He's like,
obviously,
no, come back.
he
He's like, I'll try
swam off
again.
the island.
No.
he obviously got out of it somehow.
I think that
Yeah.
dog should have bit the kid in the face when he came running back
Yeah.
into the game after that. Like, you left me out there.
Yeah.
Instead, he's like,
Yeah.
hey, man, what's going on? See,
Yeah.
that's why I love dogs. Because no matter what you do, they're still like, hey, man, I still love you.
Right.
We're still
Yeah.
bros. Because this next scene now, this is like the final game. And it almost seemed like the coach was implying that he knew Josh murdered the dog. Because he's like, oh, we got to play this game. We're missing a player, though.
I owe that to you boys here. And maybe to a dog who isn't here.
Right.
Looking at
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Josh.
It's like when you ate like cookies that your mom made. She's like, we seem to be missing a couple cookies, Evan.
You're like, what?
Your mom made
Chocolate on your
cookies?
face.
My mom, I'll be very blunt with you realtors. My mother, I wouldn't call her a great cook. Why am I making fun of my mom's cooking? but she could bake a mean cookie.
Oh.
But give me like a lasagna by her. Ugh.
Oh, that's
give
too
her
bad.
give you like an oatmeal chocolate.
Gotta get
chip
you a
by
mom
her.
that can do both.
Give me a peanut butter cookie. She was good with the peanut butter cookies.
Both mushier or dry?
Mushy.
Mushy,
good.
mushy.
I
Are
hate
you
when people. Well, no. I'm like, I don't like dry peanut butter cookies. But 90% of the time, when you have peanut butter cookie, it's dry.
Yeah.
And it's disappointing.
It is. It's so true.
Like, how do they taste? They
dry-
taste like disappointment.
The
is what they taste like.
driest cookies ever are usually always peanut butter and shortbread. The driest.
The driest cookie you'll ever have is after you give blood.
Ginger snap.
We both said the complete opposite things. Ginger snap? When
Yeah.
you give
When
blood.
you get blood. This
but-
blood cookie sucks.
But did we say two different things? Because there's a horror movie called Ginger Snaps, and she's a werewolf, and she drinks blood.
Brought to you by...
Brought to you by obscure Canadian horror film.
There it is.
Ginger snaps.
There it is.
We should have reviewed that.
We still
In
can.
October.
There's lots of time.
Oh, Halloween's over, though.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
We know no bounds.
That's true.
We are not regulated by anyone.
Yet.
So this is the end game. This dog manages to get back. So again, I asked the question: who's leaving the door open for the dog?
Yeah.
Right.
Who's not? Who's like just going like, oh man, there's a dog coming.
Yeah,
Better
did
stop
that-
him. He got
Did
past
the
me.
dog take the bus? Get directions to the school?
Or maybe,
Yeah.
or can he open doors?
like a velociraptor?
Did the dog kill that ferry operator?
He may have. He had to
Maybe.
take out his anger on something
Yeah.
because he was way too loving when he came back into that gym.
Yeah. Let's see the B-roll.
Director's cut.
And then, so Larry's father was so pissed off that
Randy Marsh.
I thought this was America.
Larry got pulled the last game for not being a team player.
Right.
That he transferred his son to a different school in a different school district.
I'm going to change your life. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you were talking to me. I was
Oh
like,
no! So I thought too. You're like, have I got some news
I
for
was
you?
You're being transferred.
This is gonna blow your
I
mind.
was waiting for the trivia to hit. I was
What?
like, no way.
No, I'm just saying, like, as a father, to be like, I'm transferring your district. That's
Gotcha.
like,
Gotcha.
Because I want you to be the star of your team.
I'm gonna change your life.
Yeah,
This is a Joker. This
Yeah.
podcast episode.
Like, talk about living vicariously through your children and toxic masculinity.
Yes, right.
So by this point, we had a couple of players foul out, and they're like, well, "Coach,
they're
we
hurt."
only have 4 players." He's like, "Get in there and play anyway."
Yeah,
Well,
which-
and that's just when the dog shows up. He's
Can
like,
you
"Wait,
do that?
we got a 5th." I don't think so. I think they would forfeit.
Don't you have to forfeit if you
Well,
don't have?
I think if you paid attention to the movie, you would notice
Oh yes, there are no rules.
they pay very close attention to a rule book. in
They
fact.
do.
So they were looking at that thing pretty closely. So if there were rules to abide to, they certainly did.
Yeah, because they at one point they said, "Oh, there's
But-
no rule in here that says a dog can't
Exactly.
play." If that were the rule for everything, though, it's like, well, you could have an adult play. Like the
Well-
coach could have jumped in there and just rocked the hell out of those 10-year-olds.
What movie did we watch where a team that was playing? I'm not thinking of a movie. I'm thinking of The Office.
Oh wow! Wow? That's nice.
I'm thinking of the episode of The Office where they're playing corporate in a volleyball match and Pam
course,
gets
Pam.
hurt.
That's what they find out she's pregnant.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
and Dwight doesn't want to send in the subs, but corporate's like, I guess you'll have to forfeit because you don't have enough players.
Yeah. Classic.
The dog almost jumps. They put him in for a jump for a
layup.
for a what do you call it? Jump ball. Put him for a jump ball, but he barks, and then the ball just hits him in the face. So again, he
Right.
doesn't jump.
You know, I think it's because the cover of the movie, he's like clearly midair.
Yeah.
Like almost
Is he?
above the rim.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll put it up right here.
Misleading.
It is.
I never thought of that. If any of the realtors can see one scene where the dog is above ground, like all 4
Please
dogs,
let us
Find
know.
one.
Yeah.
There probably isn't though.
No, this is
Not
a
even like
lie.
when he jumps into the water. He just walks in.
See, and that's why I hate MVP movies a little less because monkeys are agile and they jump. So a monkey riding a skateboard and doing a kickflip makes a little more sense than a dog.
Well, they're more human-like than dogs, so
How
it
many
makes a
MVP
lot more
movies
sense.
have you seen?
None.
Oh.
But I
Hey,
know.
okay.
You're talking like you're like, listen, I need to sell
She's
these
like, as the
MVP
local
movies.
resident of MVP knowledge.
No, but I've seen enough covers, and I know on one the chimpanzee is like holding a skateboard, and he's like,
Yeah.
I'm picturing that right now. I see it.
I definitely
you.
I followed those movies through.
So Josh gets the buzzer beater for the win, and he shoots it for the right reasons this time, not the wrong reasons.
what the
Because the first time he took that shot, he missed because he wanted to be popular. This time he was
which
like,
is a
I'm doing
wrong
this
reason.
for me.
You took that shot for the wrong reasons, Josh. You see that dog?
Yeah, being popular is like that's kind of the goal.
It is like
In school, yeah, absolutely.
yes. In school, I remember years of like bullying and being picked on because I wasn't popular. So, like trying to do well in a track and field or a sport because I want to be popular. If that's a wrong reason, well. Me. I understand as an adult, you like get older and your priorities get sorted out, and like being popular like doesn't really matter to you anymore. However, being popular kind of turns into being
So much more. It turns into like a social life. You're happy. Your
Yeah.
dopamines are flowing. What I found is just like I rewatch movies now. I watched Billy Madison.
Oh.
Right? And like as a kid, you see Billy Madison. It's like you're rooting for him. But then as an adult, you're like, this is a man-child who would ruin the business. He doesn't know basic math. How is he going to do bookkeeping? It's like you think about all this stuff, and it's like it ruins the movies. For you.
You start looking at it logically.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
you can't look at movies logically.
as a grown-up adult, and you're like, wow, I've come so far.
It's not a list after all. It's Schindler's Graph.
I was imagining Larry at the age of 40 after this game, drunk in a bar, talking about the time he lost a basketball game to a dog.
Yeah.
The bartender's like, all right, crazy Larry, it's time to go
Yeah,
home.
the
So you gotta
bartender's
get
like-
out of here.
Shut the fuck
Because
up.
it
Heard the
is
story enough.
It is small town, which I like. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, everyone's at the game. Everyone's rallying behind the dog. I kind of like that aspect of that movie.
So now we have the final scenes here, the court case. The clown is like, I want my dog. So they take it to court because the mom's like, no, this dog doesn't like you.
Yeah.
You don't like the dog. We're going to fight you in court for it. He shows up in full clown attire.
Yeah, you have to from the amount of Judge Judy I've watched, you have to show up to court professional and presentable
Yeah,
looking.
of course you do.
His idea was that this is the team, is the dog and him, and he's the clown with the clown and the hound. The clown
Was
and the
that
hound.
was that the
Yeah,
title?
that was
was.
their act name.
Am I making this up? I hope I'm not. But was
Maybe.
the dog in a suit?
The dog was in a polka dot.
Was it in a suit, like in a tie?
No.
No, not at the.
That's
No.
a big miss.
That's
on
a
the
Mandela
director.
You watched the
effect.
director's cut, so he was wearing
That,
it.
yeah,
Probably in
that's a
yours.
Mandela effect.
If I was the director, I would have made sure the dog would dress up in a suit.
Yeah. And then also, whenever the judge was banging his gavel
the judge.
and the dog was barking, if dogs react that loudly or that aggressively to loud noises, that should be a surefire, oh yeah, that dog has been around abusive scenarios.
Right.
Well, this judge was losing his mind a
This
little bit
judge
too.
was like, oh, dogs,
his
I
hearing
hate
as
them.
well. Like, who's making all that noise? He had a guy counseling him over here. Like, oh, that's just the dog barking there, sir. This guy should not have been banging a gavel and deliberating
He should
anything.
not have been practicing law.
'Cause he
should
came
have
up-
been retired.
He came up with
Yeah.
because someone says, I think it was the coach showed up and he's like, let the dog pick.
Let the dog
Let the dog decide. And then they move
Unbelievable.
everything outside. It's like you could have done this all in the
In the
courtroom.
Yeah.
But no, let's get everybody outside. They even brought his chair outside.
Yeah, so
Right,
he can
right.
sit.
That's kind of funny, actually.
Oh, one point we didn't make, I wanted to make was, let's finish it, then I'll bring it back.
Okay.
Because the newspaper, because he tries to lure him in with the newspaper, and he runs over to the clown, takes the newspaper, rips it apart, because
Yeah.
he used to beat him with it. So it's like a little bit of a callback there.
It's a trigger.
No, this movie was an exploration on PTSD.
Yeah.
For both humans, the child is clearly going through grief of the dead father, and the dog is being abused by his owner.
Yeah.
And let's look. And the clown is obviously has an alcohol problem, and we're laughing at it. This
Yeah.
movie is very dark.
Yeah.
Very dark.
Yeah.
So he chooses the kid, blah, 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 blah. That's
Right.
the end of the
Happy
movie.
ending.
Happy
Kept
ending.
us in suspense, though, dog.
Yeah,
Holy,
like the
just-
dog inching
make
toward
up
the
your
alcoholic
mind.
clown. There's no
Right.
way in real life a dog would ever inch forward
No.
towards someone who abused it.
Oh, but the how did the mother not check the backyard for the missing newspapers? There's a
Yeah.
dog in the picture
Right.
now.
Yeah.
Your newspaper
and
is not
she's
showing
like,
up.
yeah, my newspaper hasn't shown up in like a week.
And she finds him in the backyard at some point, buried. It's like, come on, you could have found those.
And then she's like, buddy. But she doesn't call the newspaper people and be like, hey, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, they don't care.
They don't care. Oh, that actually kind of bothered me. The dog's named Buddy. I
Yeah.
don't know why. It's just
Air
like
Bud.
I get it. Just name him like something cool like Darren.
Dog. Dog.
Name him.
Darren.
Yeah. Name him.
George.
I love animals with human names.
Yeah, right.
Like one of my coworkers, she has a cat named Kevin.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
It's just so. Oh, she's like we'd have our annual meeting via Zoom call, and she's like, "Man, I wish Kevin were here."
Yeah, Kevin's doing his taxes right now.
George and I went to the park. He shit outside. I didn't have a bag.
Oh, that's funny talking about it. Like, yeah, he pissed all over my floor. Who's Kevin again?
Is he your roommate?
Yeah, no,
So,
it's my cat.
We do a real rating system.
Yes.
If you're unaware of that.
Okay,
So,
I don't think I've ever made it this far in an episode.
Ooh.
Okay,
So this is all new.
Exposed.
ADD.
So it's
You're
um,
exposed. You hate children.
Trust me,
and dogs.
I've seen the
I don't
analytics.
hate
Most
dogs.
people don't make it past 10 minutes. Real rating. So it's like, it's always out of 10, but it's something to do with the movie. So like I real rated this movie.
Okay.
5 diabetic dogs out of 10 abandoned lakefront basketball courts.
Was it 6 SpaghettiO cans?
6 SpaghettiO cans. I rated it that because I didn't hate it. Well, you really hated it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. It was a typical kids movie, redemption story. Had a lot of dark parts to it.
But it made sense why it did well. Like it did well
Yeah.
financially.
Oh yeah.
It-
Yeah.
It wasn't not enjoyable.
Yeah. I real rated this 4 Budweiser empty can castles out of 10 tarnished dog clown costumes. Because I did not like this movie, but contrary to what you believe, I love dogs. I just don't like the idea of making a cancerous dog perform for your movie.
It's pretty dark.
But I liked the dog, and I liked the scenery, but nothing
Yeah,
else.
there were some kind of like cool like establishing shots, like when they first
Yeah.
drive into town.
Lots of bird shots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They really lovely. Really like the bird shots.
Yeah.
Do you have a real rating? Do you want to slap on this? You don't have to.
I certainly do. Hello, realtors. This is Evan Mumford coming at you.
Well, that's what they're called now.
Realtors.
Ever since I said it, it's like if they don't use that, I'm gonna use it in my own world.
That works.
I'm gonna rate this movie 2 single mothers out of 10 pit cans. And
Wow.
here's the reason. I think it's because I romanticized it because I loved it as a kid. So I went into I was actually like looking forward like watching this movie, and I thought I'm giving it such a poor rating because it wasn't as dumb. Like if you watch like Trolls 2, like that's
Yeah.
so fun. But this wasn't as dumb and fun as I remembered. As I said, like those sappy violin scenes were super cornball to me,
Yeah.
and it just wasn't anything. It wasn't an awful movie. I get it, but I just hated it because it was just nothing. It didn't make me feel anything. But the funniest scene was like the car
Yeah.
chase. Yeah.
That's so interesting that out of all of us, you've seen it so many
Yeah.
times, and this is your pick, and you
Exactly.
rated
It makes sense though. You watch. It's like me watching Liar Liar again. I watched it a ton
Right.
as a kid, and I
I
watch it now, and I'm like,
love that
oh,
Yeah.
It's hard to watch.
Is it cringy?
Cringy.
I'd be curious. I might be able to do that tonight.
Buddy and I
Yeah.
watched it up in camp. We're like, we got amped for it, and halfway through, I'm like, we're looking at him and looking at each other, going, this is bad. But we got to finish it though. We got to the end.
Because I remember
and
like, you first see it, it's like, oh, that movie's so great.
the pen is blue.
Goddamn pen is blue.
There's still some funny parts.
I was playing a game with someone the other day, and they quoted The Mask without realizing they were quoting The Mask.
Somebody stop me.
No, they said
it.
that's a spicy meatball, and then I was like, oh, I love The Mask, and they were like, what?
That's Mario.
And I was like, oh, he eats the thing of dynamite as the mask, and he
Right.
burps, and he's like, that's a spicy meatball, and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about, and I was like,
This is
okay.
a hospital. And I just ate a spicy meatball.
All right, it is almost 7:00. We got to wrap this up.
Yes.
You want to plug anything? This is coming out the 15th, so plug everything you want to plug.
15th. Okay, shows after that would be there's tickets available November 17th at the Victoria Event Center. Should be fine. And I'm doing Canoe Club November 23rd. Tickets are available.
Cool.
Check out my my podcast is on Spotify. It's called Must Be Nice.
Yeah.
I had not a mental breakdown, but it's 2 years ago I stopped making it. and just check it out. It's very interesting.
It was cool. I listened to it. I liked
Yeah.
it.
I'm gonna listen to it on my
Basically,
way home.
makes his own city and gets people to
Yeah.
come on and they contribute to contribute people to the city.
It got very heavy.
It was neat.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It was a cool premise. I liked
Thanks,
it.
man.
Well,
Yeah,
hey.
and anyway, realtors, take care of yourselves.
Thanks for coming on. We'll have
Thank
you
you
again
guys
real
so much.
soon.
This is the funnest time ever.
Awesome. Glad you had fun.
Yeah.
Right
Love
on.
to have you back.
Awesome. I'd love to. Airbud too.
Yeah.
Airbud 15
volleyball, baseball. He does a bunch of shit.
Perfect.
Plays football, I'm pretty sure.
or MVP.
Okay, let's do MVP.
Okay, that
I'll come
works.
back. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All right.
Peace.
We call it there. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Real guy.